Jeff Lowery back here at GameWorks. We're in Phoenix. I'm with Dan Manucci, who is synonymous with high school football here in the Valley, and certainly glad to have you with us on this Phoenix American Youth Football event. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure, Jeff, and it's always a pleasure to come out here and see all the coaches and see all the players and the cheer moms and the cheerleaders, because it really is a community atmosphere. And I think more than anything, I think that the way the communities get involved and the way they get involved, because it's about the kids. And I think more so than anything, you see that with the coaches that are out here and all the cheer sponsors, and especially the sponsors that understand that it's about our youth of today through football and cheerleading, that they understand that these kids are going to grow up and develop, and they're going to be our leaders of tomorrow. So I think it's so neat to see everybody involved. What a great time out here at GameWorks. I mean, I need to hurry up because I need to get out there and go play my game's worth of fun out there, but a lot of fun.
Well, now, you played your high school ball at McClintock High School, and I know you played for Carl Kiefer, one of the great coaches here. And you've had quite a journey from your freshman year. You said you were like 5'4", 110, 15 pounds soaking wet. You make it to the NFL. Does this afford you the opportunity to talk to these kids and say, never give up?
I think that's the point that I like to make when I talk to so many kids. There's so many of the cheerleaders and kids in general is like, no matter what your passion is, follow your passion. I don't care if it's dancing, I don't care if it's art, if it's football, baseball, whatever that is that if you have a talent, I think that if you're blessed with a talent, use that talent. Go ahead and use that, but don't ever get discouraged. Don't ever get discouraged. And as you said, 5'4", 112 pounds soaking wet as a freshman in high school, eventually grew up. But the one thing, Jeff, is I had a strong arm. I mean, I was a kid that could outthrow anybody in the neighborhood. I could outthrow those individuals that were on the JV and even the varsity when I was a sophomore. So I continued just to be patient. And with a guy like Carl Kiefer, one of the toughest disciplined coaches I ever had, he taught me about hard work. He taught me about discipline. He taught me about staying with it. Don't ever give up. And if you've got that passion, and you've got that ability to do things that no other kids can, stay with it, because you know what? The old saying is, you may just want to try to grab for a shooting star, because every once in a while you might just grab one and catch it and take off.
Now, you are affiliated with Fetch Productions, or Promotions, excuse me. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with them, and then we'll talk about 1060 AM KDUS.
Well, first and foremost, Fetch Promotions, we're a promotional company that gives you any kind of the apparel or a lot of fundraising items that we're out here today that we want to go ahead and promote, because for a lot of teams, whether it be T-shirts or whether it be footballs or whether it be Frisbees or anything like that, and whether it be any kind of a throw rug, something to promote not only your team but to be a great fundraiser. And more so than anything, Mike Ronan has done a great job with Fetch Promotions, and Mike's the kind of guy that he'll call you, he'll design the artwork for you, he'll be on the phone, he'll return your call, he'll answer the questions, and for Fetch there's no middleman. And for the Fan AM 1060, Calling All Sports with Rock and Manucci, we're on from 3 to 6 p.m. each and every day. Rock and I have a passion for football. And the Fan AM 1060, which carries Nebraska football, carries some pro football, we have a passion. I think for Rock and myself and for all the guys at the Fan AM 1060, we love football. We love youth football. We also carry AIA365.com, which is also the game of the week on the Fan AM 1060. So the Fan AM 1060 is dialed in, as I like to say, pardon the pun, with high school football as well as youth football. And what we're going to do with you guys, with AYF and D. Gray or the whole gang, is we'll go ahead and promote the championship games coming up in November and December, the golf tournament, which is going to be coming up in November. So our main crux is to go ahead and get those sponsors involved, get people involved that love youth football, because ultimately these kids aren't going to play football forever. They're going to carry this youth sports to a new level. Hopefully it's high school, hopefully it's college, and maybe for a few that are blessed and fortunate, it's pro football, and get them to come back and get more involved. So we're dialed in at the Fan AM 1060.
Well, I think the Phoenix-AYF is very fortunate to have someone of your caliber in the organization. I've followed your career for the last decade at least, calling the games, like you said, on 1060 for the AIA, and you represent high school sports. I mean, you're one of the leaders. You have a lot of responsibility, because these kids today do not have the role models that they should. We need people like Dan Manucci who really cares. I've seen Dan out at Mountain Point High School and not getting paid for it, week in and week out, calling the public address. So I think everyone appreciates what you do.
Jeff, I appreciate that. I think that there's a responsibility, not only former pro athletes or college athletes. I think that as adults, we need to be out there mentoring kids, whatever that situation is. And one of the things I love to do is, as I coach quarterbacks on the side, I do independent coaching, private lessons with the kids out there, whether they're out in Southeast Mesa or the Southeast Valley up to the northwest side of town, or even down to Tucson. And the one thing that I want my quarterbacks to learn, a lot of kids that come out there, is that we need to do as adults, is first and foremost, they got to show up, they got to practice hard, you got to love them, you got to discipline them, but they have to understand what it takes to get to the next level. And I think that as adults and parents, as mentors, we need to help those kids along. They're going to fall, they're going to disappoint, but I think more than anything, we got to help them along. Every once in a while, give them a boost, but every once in a while, we need to let those kids fail. Can't enable the kids. Let them fail, help them out, mentor them, and keep them going down the right path.
Dan, thanks so much for your time, and we will see you throughout the season. And we are at GameWorks. This is the PHOENIX-AYF television.